Welcome. It's the Matic. It's the illest blurred in the land. Welcome back to Ill Blur Matic. Welcome back, legends. Thank you so much for commenting, liking, subscribing, also returning. Let's get into today's new video. Today's new video is one of the final DCU movies of the old era of DC, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, also known as Aquaman 2. So, the first most interesting thing that really worked with this story is the story between the brothers, Aquaman and Ocean Master. I enjoyed this adventure. It was a little bit similar to when Aquaman met Mira in the first movie, but instead it's an adventure with Ocean Master and Aquaman and them becoming little brother, big brother type of relationship. So it was like a bro superhero movie. It also takes a little bit of the element of Thor, how we saw that with Thor and Loki. I enjoyed the element. I thought the element was okay. Yeah, it may have took from something else, but it worked really well. The next thing that I thought that was interesting was this film was that we saw Aquaman not loving the job. Yes, he's king of Atlantis, but he doesn't like the political side, sitting in meetings with Mira by his side and negotiating with the other kingdoms within the Atlantis and the Ocean Kingdom. But he likes the side where he has to fight the surface dwellers that are trying to pollute Atlantis. So we see that there are elements that he loves about the job. There are elements that he does not like about the job. And he's just trying to figure out, why did I put myself in this position? Because pretty much he didn't want his brother to be the king. So, I mean, that makes complete sense. Very interesting how they went about that. Now, let's talk about the other element that I enjoyed about this film. The other element is the action. I like that we see the action like we did in the first movie. The action scenes were really good. I mean, by far, one of my favorite action scenes in this movie is when Aquaman and Black Manta fight one another. And it's action. I love that it still kept that action element that the first movie actually did, but kind of spiced it up a bit more. Excuse me. And that really worked. Now, the other thing that I thought that was really interesting with this film, and it's on the slicey and dicey side of things, is the CGI. Some of the CGI is looking really good. Some of the CGI is looking blah, 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 blah. You know, on the side where you're like, ugh. And that's okay. I mean, the best water CGI I've seen is probably in James Cameron's Avatar 2, Way of the Water. And it works. You know what I'm saying? But with this movie, it's a mixed bag. There's some good CGI, there's some bad CGI, and that's kind of the problem. I see some of the problem with this movie. The other thing that I liked about this movie is the Black Manta buildup. Every superhero movie should have a good villain buildup. Black Manta brought it. He had a decent objective. He also dealt with one of the kings from the Lost Kingdom. I'm not going to say too much about that because I don't want to spoil it. And that element works with the film. I said, ooh, this works. This works. And I mean, Yaya brings it. I mean, come on, the man really embodies Black Manta. I was getting Killmonger vibes. Anyone in the comments tell me if I'm lying. Did anyone else feel that Black Manta was like Killmonger in this movie? Tell me in the comments, guys. I'm going to leave that as a pinned comment as well. I like that aspect of it. The movie kind of felt a little bit too long. That was the other thing I saw with this movie. Yes, it's another 2-hour movie, of course, but there were some problems with it. So we're going to talk about a little bit more of the issues with the film. Then I'm going to give you my overall review like I usually do. Now, one of the issues I had with this film was the reshoots. That aspect of the movie kind of hurt the movie. And let me explain why I mean it hurt the movie. There were some scenes where I was kind of like scratching my head. Like, I felt like another scene should have been there, and it didn't really match well. It didn't sync well with the movie. And I was like, darn it, reshoots. Darn reshoots. This time it didn't work. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. The reshoots did not help Aquaman in the Lost Kingdom in some aspects. Because some scenes you hear certain phrases and you're like, oh, what's gonna happen next? And then you're like, I'm confused, bruh. The other problem with this film is the other characters. I felt like the other characters weren't fleshed out really well in this movie, whether it was Aquaman's mother, some of the other people that were in Atlantis that were like allies of the king. They felt one-dimensional. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I said, y'all didn't want to add no more character development within these characters that we're gonna see for this final DCU movie of the old universe. A little disappointed about that. I was like, the last problem with this movie that I have to say, it's Black Manta. Like, Black Manta had all these people working for him. I honestly would have loved to see how he recruited these people to work for him to help fight Aquaman and his brother Ocean Master. That was a big question mark when it came to that. Now, the one thing I forgot to mention too is they did have a backstory on the Lost Kingdom. So if this movie is talking about the Lost Kingdom, we learned about the background story to it as well. And that's okay. I'm glad that they kind of gave us a backstory to learn about why this kingdom was the way it was when it came to what happened to it. Like the aftermath, the beginning, what it was like versus what it was like towards the end and what led to this. Let's get into the review, baby. Oh, yeah. Aquaman 2, for it to be the final DCU of the old universe, I gotta give this a B-. This did not live up to the hype as the first one. The first one's still my favorite. The second one was enjoyable. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but I'm a little disappointed. I thought for sure this was gonna be like as big as the first one. And that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes sequels either are really good or average or not really good at all. But this is your boy Ill Blurmatic, guys. You tell me in the comments, what is your favorite old DCU movie? And also, did you enjoy Aquaman 2 in the Lost Kingdom, guys? Have a wonderful day, guys. And I'm out.